Let's discuss the types of unemployment. The first type is frictional unemployment. So this is an unemployment type due to national frictions of the economy, which is caused by the changing market conditions. Simply put, if you are working in a certain company producing computers and the demand for the computers of that specific company has gone down, then probably there is retrenchment. Many people were laid off. They've lost their jobs, and you are one of them. However, there's another company, let's say company B, producing the same computers, and then that company is hiring. So for that certain period that you are unemployed because you are applying for that job, for that specific position in that company that will utilize the same skills that you have, you are frictionally unemployed. So in the macroeconomic perspective, there's no problem with that because that is just the natural friction of the economy. The second unemployment type is structural unemployment. It is unemployment due to structural changes in the economy that eliminate some jobs. If the frictional unemployment, your skills are transferable, in structural unemployment, you lose your job, and then there's no other jobs available that will utilize the same skills that you have in the previous company. So let's say if you are making computers, if you are part of the production line making computers for that company, and suddenly there's a change in market conditions, and then you got laid off, you got entrenched, you're one of those people who got laid off, and then when you applied for another company, the skills are not the same. They're looking for a different set of skills. Let's say a call center. So you're working for a computer company, and now you're working for a you are applying for a BPO company which has different skill sets needed. So probably you will go through the training, etc., etc. So that is what we call structural unemployment. Okay? The third type is the natural unemployment. So basically, the natural unemployment is the sum of frictional unemployment and structural unemployment. So let's say the economy has, a country has 3% frictional unemployment rate and then 2% structural unemployment. So 2% plus 3% equals 5%. So the natural unemployment rate is 5%. Okay? The fourth one is the actual unemployment rate. Now here's the thing. Just because you added frictional unemployment and structural unemployment and you have arrived at your natural unemployment rate, it doesn't mean that the actual unemployment rate is the same. So let's say the actual unemployment rate is 10%. I looked it up last July 2020. I looked it up on psa.gov.ph that the unemployment rate of the Philippines is at 10%. But this is quite high. So let's say that is the actual unemployment rate. So this is a different figure here. You have a different figure for natural unemployment rate and the actual unemployment rate. So there's a problem here. The problem here is the difference between the actual unemployment rate and the natural unemployment rate, which is, if you're gonna subtract the natural unemployment rate, which is 5%, subtract you subtract it from the actual unemployment rate, which is 10%, you will have a difference of 5%. So the 5% difference here is what we call that cyclical unemployment rate. The cyclical unemployment rate is the major problem. Why? It means that there are those people who are applying or looking for jobs, but there are no jobs available. Yes? The cyclical unemployment rate is the difference between, or the difference of natural unemployment rate and the actual unemployment rate. Now, what if the actual unemployment rate is 5%? Okay? The actual unemployment rate is 5%. The natural unemployment rate is 5%. So, there is no cyclical unemployment rate. Meaning to say, if the natural unemployment rate is equal to the actual unemployment rate, then the economy is at full employment. So when we say the economy is at full employment, it doesn't mean that unemployment rate is equal to 0. No. It only means that the natural unemployment rate is equal to the actual unemployment rate. The economy is at full employment. Because whether you like it or not, frictional unemployment and structural unemployment will likely to occur in every economy for that matter.